Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trap Draw. This is our last shop session of the year, and as such, I'm joined by my esteemed colleague, Mr. Big Randy. Sir,
Hello, TC. I was just talking to you a little bit before we hit record. My guy Arthur, big day for my guy Arthur. We went and got a blood test. He's been dealing with a little case of the heartworm the last few months, and we're hoping we're at the end of that journey. If the blood test comes back negative, we're free to resume quote normal dog activities. So should know here in another day or so, but yeah, the wife is like sick and just immensely pregnant. I was telling you, like it's been a tough scene around the house the last few days here. So I hope you're
what?
doing better down in Florida.
I'm fine. I've been on the road. I'm wiped, man. I'm so tired. Alex and I we got a babysitter for Friday night. Or no, actually, we're sending the kids over to my mother-in-law's on Friday night. She's gonna watch them, and we're just gonna sit at home and do nothing.
God, that sounds great.
I know, I'm so excited. So, what normal dog activities has Arthur not been able to take part in?
I mean, it's just such a bummer. Like, can't take him on walks. Like, essentially, for 2 months, doing everything we can to make sure his heart rate doesn't get up. So, like, no exercise of any kind. Uh, Trying to, like, not even, like, play with him, you know? I
Yeah.
always would just, like, horse around with him, get him all riled up, you know? He's got a few toys. We'd like, I can't do that. So, we had been we'd been, giving him some, like, trazodone each day just to kinda essentially drug him, take the edge off. So, he's just been really sleepy for a couple months, but I've been weaning him off the trazodone the last few days in anticipation of hopefully getting a good result. Um, and so the big thing will be just be like getting him out of the house, going on his walks every morning. I feel like that'll be great for his mentals
Yeah, yeah. Probably for your mentals too.
and my mentals. Well, it was tough because I would still go on, maybe not every day, but I would try to go on walks still myself. And like, he'd just be looking at me when I was walking out. And I just felt awful, you know. It's like, man, I
Yeah.
wish you would know that this, like, it's out of my hands, Arthur. They're telling me I can't take you for a walk, dude.
Not
I'm
me, it's
sorry.
them.
Yeah, it's not me. It's not me.
Well, before we get too much farther, I do wanna thank Mr. Jeezy, for his continued support of this program, whether, you know, unwittingly or knowingly. And then,
Part of me, TC, it's like I hope it stays unknowingly. I'm not sure. I don't quite know what the. I just feel like like we never asked anybody's permission if we could sample his music in our intro. I don't know if that's if maybe I should just shut up. I'm not gonna say anything more.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it could be one of those things, like, we have squatters' rights now. We've been
It
doing it
feels
for
like
so
we
long.
should.
Well, yeah, today's episode, pretty informal affair. We'll talk about just kinda life recently, get to some mea culpas here in a sec, go through, just kinda clean up some loose ends as far as the monitoring list goes through the end of the year, talk about some things we read recently, and then just talk about some sports stuff. Coach Rush Probst, Michigan, Ohio University,
Things of that
uh,
nature.
Joe Burrow. Yeah, just stuff like that. So I think before we get there, let's do our Serve Pro mea culpas. Serve Pro, number one brand in cleanup and restoration. They're known for making any mess like it never even happened. With over 2,200 locations nationwide, they're faster to any size disaster. Visit servepro.com or call 1-800-SERVE-PRO today. I mean, not a lot of mea culpas, just more some acknowledgments, I think, that we've been getting some flack for Poosh's over the top Kyle glazing on last week's Knowers app. A lot of people saying that, yeah, I got notes about it. I was like, I wasn't even on the episode. Like, why aren't
Right.
you sending Randy and Neil notes? A lot of people saying that Neil gave Tomlin kind of a free pass, just like
Oh, more
he's
than a
done
free
A
pass.
Rod's before. Yeah,
It was like a total vote of confidence. Like
yeah.
it seemed like, job well done.
Yeah, the Midwesterners out of Pittsburgh not happy there. We got some Eagles fans, they play the Raiders and Hurts carves them up as I would hope that he could do, and they're acting like everything's just back to normal. Everything's good. Uh, it's tough. Yeah. Anything we want to address there?
I really do think the most egregious is Neil's takes on. I mean, it started as like Neil loves what Arthur Smith does offensively. And to be fair to Neil, I think some of that started. We were just talking like jumbo heavy packages.
Wow, stuff.
Yeah, but when Neil kind of expanded out to Tomlin, all he does is win football games. I think he wandered into an area where I don't think he quite realizes how frustrated Steelers fans are because the floor and the ceiling are essentially the same thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And yeah, it's great to have a winning record. It's great to go 9-8. Like, would sure take that from my Bengals this year. But when you have like 15 years of that and no playoff success on the back end, then something's got to give. So yeah, I honestly, I'll apologize for Neil. I thought that was an awful take in the moment, and it's still an awful take. To Poosh, Glaze, and Kyle, honestly, I didn't think it was too egregious in the moment.
I
And
think people just have so much scar tissue.
yeah, there's a lot of scar tissue.
Past.
But like, I know the Niners haven't had the most difficult schedule, but it's been a pretty like I got to call balls and strikes. It's been a pretty good job from Kyle this year.
Yeah.
I mean, the Niners are 10-4. They've had some big injuries. I got to call it how I see it here. So I don't think it was egregious there.
We got a good Thursday night matchup tonight too. We've got the Rams taking on the Seahawks. Although I just saw that Puka's brother stole one of the guys in the Lakers, his BMW.
That's concerning.
Yeah, between that and Puka hanging out with these streamers and streaming in the locker room, it seems like he might be kind of a moron.
Yeah, just kind of a Gen Z moron type, maybe.
Yeah. I think we would be remiss if we didn't include this in this part too. Is just keeping Chiefs fans in our thoughts and prayers.
I'm so sorry, Chiefs.
In the wake of this Patrick Mahomes injury. I know we're both pretty torn up about it. It kind of cast a pall over the last 3 or 4 days.
Yeah. Feels like some karma is going to come back to that organization. I don't know.
I hope so. So.
Yeah. There is kind of a vacuum that karma could come rushing into,
Yeah. Bills fans are feeling pretty frisky right now. They've been coming at us pretty good. I stand by everything I've said. I also stand by that I think Burrow's the best quarterback in the league. He's not playing like it right now.
No, last week was terrible, but I think I agree with you, and I think I might also I do have to tip my cap to Josh Allen. He might be the best player without being the best quarterback, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I think Stafford may be a better quarterback right now.
Yeah. But I do think that Bills team is like maybe a 6-win team if you take out Allen and put in like, I don't know, Mac Jones or somebody like that.
Yeah. What else? Your Bengals quit. I mean, they just straight up quit. That was tough. Is that the end of the line for your guy ZT?
Well, it came out this week. ZT, apparently people thought his contract was up after next season, but he's got 2 more seasons after this year. So it seems like the local beat writer in The Athletic was saying it just doesn't feel like the Bengals are going to make any changes after this year, which
Al Golden coming back.
Duke I think Tobin it's just running back. Duke Tobin, ZT, Al Golden. We'll see.
Hell yeah.
It's tough.
You know what? I will say it's super impressive to see Jamar Chase's consistency playing with 3 different quarterbacks this year. And then you look over at Justin Jefferson, like basically being invisible.
Yeah.
And I will say we were dead on with JJ McCarthy from the outset.
Weren't you talking to somebody that was in like the NFL circles that was like trying to fluff
Oh, I
JJ.
talked to a few people. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I would take an
and then some
apology from
Michigan
whoever
people
that is.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll get to the Michigan people here in a sec, but and then yeah, as far as just downside risk for next year, it seems like things are starting to lift and separate on the ball knowers team standings. So, do we want to go ahead and just officially declare the penalty?
Well, I think so. I think it should be a two-pronged penalty. I'm not sure if we can make a unilateral decision here, but I think we could at least get Pooch on board. I think the last place finisher, which it looks like it's going to be Neil. Our guy went 1-7 last week. Honestly, his steal Arthur Smith picked him up on Monday night. He was looking at an 0 for 8 week. I think it's two pronged. I think the loser has to watch all the silly alt casts next year. Like whenever there is an alt cast going, like that's what you have to be watching, and then you have to report back to us on the next ball knowers, like the pros, the cons of whatever alt casts were watched. And then I think the loser is for the season. They're referred to as junior ball knower.
Yes.
I would submit that as penalty.
Are there alt casts beyond just the Monday night one? Like they do the
I,
Nickelodeon one. I think that's a
yeah,
Sunday afternoon one.
like maybe some of these Saturday games coming up here late in the year, they might do some stuff. But I feel like that's going to be on Neil to figure out.
Yeah.
He's going to have to be proactive seeking out those alt casts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, thank you to Serve Pro. That wasn't even really mea culpas. That was just more an NFL section of sorts. But here we are.
TC, sorry, real quick. One more mea culpa adjacent. I don't know if you've been keeping tabs on what's going on in Green Bay at the moment, but our guy Doug Gottlieb has.
Yeah,
I see. This is later in the agenda, but I
it's
I
okay.
did want to. I wanted to tie it into the mea culpas because he was demanding pre mea culpas last season from all of us for poking fun at him. I will say Green Bay, I think, is 5-7 this year. I think they've won more
Yeah.
games this year than they did all of last year.
I
But
think he threw a chair last week too.
he has paused his radio show, so I'm not sure where all this nets out. Like if we owe him, if we're going to call it even because he stopped his radio show, which everybody thought like that was kind of the source of like, what are you doing? Why do you have
Yeah.
a national radio show? We are watching that. Maybe as of right now, we let it be.
I think that's fair. Yeah,
Okay.
we can revisit it come March.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
See how his team does. So, what's been going on lately other than the Arthur stuff? We were talking about it before. I'm kind of like tending. I'm trending towards being out on the holidays.
Mm.
Just generally speaking, it's just a
Thanksgiving and
lot.
Christmas.
Yeah, Thanksgiving's fine. Just the whole this 5 to 6 week season, just too much, man. I just want to
It's
get
a
on
lot.
I want to get on with my life. I want to start 2026 and get through all this planning. Let's just do it. Let's just go do it.
Yeah, man. Christmas is stressful. I feel like it's only going to get more stressful as kids come into the picture. So I feel like I shouldn't really bemoan that too much. Honestly, TC, not much has been going on, man, in my world. Like I got a wife that's uncomfortably pregnant. I mentioned the last couple of days she's just been sick on top of that. My guy Arthur's been down for the count for a couple months. Like it's gotten pretty bleak here at times in this household.
Speaking of bleak, this is farther on the agenda, but I just couldn't resist. That monastery that you went and did
Oh,
your retreat at a
oh
couple
my
of years
God.
ago.
Yeah,
Being sold.
the Catholic monastery up outside Snowmass here. I went on my 3-day retreat. That must have been like 2022, I think.
Sounds right.
I knew I was in trouble. I knew that they just weren't getting enough monks to like keep that big a property going. Hadn't thought about it in a little while, and then the Denver Post headline yesterday: the Palantir CEO has bought the entire property for like 120 million. And I texted you, I was like, this is about the bleakest thing I've ever fucking seen. It's yeah, man, that's tough.
Neil's a big Alex Karp guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tough on a lot of levels, TC. I hate that. That monster, that property it's really cool. I hope he hope he enjoys it. I hope he enjoys it, man. But yeah, going on here, TC. I don't know. I feel like I've watched between sports and just I feel like I've had time in the evenings to myself lately where I'm just like trying to watch some stuff. I watched the Netflix, the Puff Daddy, Sean Combs
How's that?
Reckoning. It's a lot. That's what that is. P Diddy, maybe not the best guy. TC is the takeaway there. Sounds like he may have allegedly never been charged with anything, but probably responsible for the deaths of Tupac and Biggie. I forgot about like the City College of New York,
Yeah.
the stampede that killed 9 people early in his like promotion days. It truly is like, man, anybody that Puff Daddy comes in contact with, I think the saying was like they're either dead in jail or have found God. Like he is a lot going on there. So been watching that. What else I've been watching? I don't know, man. You tell me what's going on down in Florida. I feel like I don't have much for you.
I don't really know. I mean, I've been on the road. I was down. God, I was in Guatemala, Ohoopee, Sea Island. Just
As one does.
yeah. No, Solly and I flew down there. We had some great breakfast tacos in the Houston airport.
Oh, I bet.
Those breakfast tacos are so good.
Well, we
Uh,
should tell people the Guatemala trip's going to be a video, kind of a golf and
Often coffee.
yeah. I didn't
Yeah.
know if we're okay to yeah. You guys were going down there, kind of going through like the sourcing coffee beans process, playing some golf. I think that'll be an awesome video. Look for that, sometime Q1
Yeah. I said
2026.
late, probably late Q1. Yeah, great time down there. Fascinating place. We had a great meal in Guatemala City. We went up to Antigua, played this resort that got wiped out by a volcano, and they're kind of bringing it back. Some fascinating golf down there, among other things. Food was great. Like Randy, they call it the Valley of the Eternal Spring.
Huh.
It just kind of stays between 68 and like 75 year
God, that's
round.
perfect.
Light humidity. I mean, it's like 6,500 feet. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, just very interesting. Not that much more difficult to get to than say, San Diego. You're just kind of like, it was 2.5 hours from Houston, so 2 legs.
And how was the airports? Where'd you fly into? Like what?
Flew into Guatemala City. It was
Okay.
not a great airport. I mean, we had a 2:10 a.m. flight on the way back. So got to the airport about 10:40, 11 p.m. and just laid on the floor for a while, which was less than ideal. Some of the worst traffic I've ever seen. I
Sure.
mean, just horrible traffic. Um, yeah, we had this crazy tasting menu the first night. It was awesome. But yeah, just awesome hospitality from the folks down there, especially our friend Adrian. And yeah, just a
Did it feel like
interesting place.
maybe a dumb question? Did it feel like a really big city? Like, does it feel cosmopolitan at all? Or does it feel like,
Yeah, I think it felt. I mean, it's definitely a big city, getting bigger too, growing like crazy. It feels like, I mean, the really cosmopolitan parts of it felt like you were in West Hollywood or you know, uh, certain parts of LA, and then other spots felt like yeah, like I'd never been to Central America before, but yeah, the other spots felt pretty destitute. So, yeah, just interesting. Like still
yeah,
kind of wrapping my head around it.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, like I really liked it. Like Antigua, we were talking to Bob Sturm about it. It's one of his favorite places in the world. It's this mountain town, it's probably 20, 25 miles from downtown Guatemala City. It takes about 2 hours to get up there.
Okay.
Uh, but yeah, just like it was like it was like the coolest ski town I've ever been to without skiing. And there's great weather and
Yeah.
all that. So,
Huh.
yeah, and like, just it's like sitting at a bar and like watching a volcano erupt every
You don't
4
get
or
that
5
very
minutes,
often. Yeah.
and the lava just, trickling down the cone is pretty cool. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
pretty wild. So,
Well, I look for I sincerely that's gonna be a awesome video to watch because I've never been to Central America and yeah, I just don't even I think everything all the visuals are gonna be pretty new and a lot to just take in for me. So that'll be cool.
I don't think otherwise. Yeah, Solly's had me listen to a lot of Rates and Barrels episodes, podcast. It's been just way too up on free agency
Was
there.
he I bet he was so deep in his Reds doomerism.
Oh yeah, I mean they're pretty much need to shut it down till like 2029 at
Yeah,
this point.
don't bother playing the season. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He was pretty befuddled by the Reds, re-signing the closer and all of that stuff. What else? I've been speaking of doomerism. I'm listening to Charlie Warzell's podcast, Galaxy Brain.
Okay.
That'll make you feel pretty pessimistic about the future and just technology and society, generally speaking. But
Sick.
ch-
I need some more of that in my life. That's good.
yeah,
I'll
but
seek
yeah,
that.
Charlie delivers it in a very insightful, almost uplifting way. It's fun. But yeah, he's 5 episodes in, and I don't know. I like the way that he's attacking the subject matter
Okay.
there. What else? Otherwise, I've been, podcast wise, been listening to the Air Current podcast, which is maybe the most esoteric airline industry thing you could like. They had the CEO of Condor on a couple weeks ago, talking about their fleet strategy and just like really really in the weeds stuff. And I don't know why I
I
love it so
love that.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. We'll get to some more air travel stuff here later on in the agenda, but yeah, generally speaking, I just been trying to cut down on these tabs, Randy. Tabs have they're not so much out of control of my phone, but they're out of control of my computer. I think I've got
Mm.
15 Google Chrome windows open up and probably an average of 8 to 10 tabs in each one of those. I mean, I'm sure the memory on my computer is dwindling.
What if you just closed them all?
Oh, I wouldn't be able to sleep for months.
Yeah. Yeah.
All that knowledge just disappearing, even
I
though,
know.
I'm not going to read that knowledge today or tomorrow, but it's there for me to
You
come back
need it.
to when I.
You yeah. Yeah. Well, speaking of, just what we've been doing lately, I should kinda tying in with, the ball knowers and stuff. Poosh sent me I glossed at the Book of Knowing, but, the Michael Silver book, The Why is Everything, which kinda starts with Shanahan and gets into his cohort, so, like, McVay and Mike McDonald and Matt LaFleur and, Raheem Morris is in there, and so I started it this past weekend. I'm maybe like 20, 25 pages. I honestly haven't read much this week, but I on Sensei's recommendation, and then Poosh read it, and I'm gonna read it, and then TC. I don't know if you've read it, but I'm happy
No,
to
I
just
need
keep
to.
passing the book along. I'll send it to you when I'm finished.
Perfect. Yeah, that one and then the Wickersham quarterback book are
Yeah,
probably required off-season reading for the knowers.
yeah, yeah. Um, so yeah,
I
I
watched
feel like
Randy, I think I fell asleep like 45 minutes in, but I need to not, not I definitely need to finish it. The Michigan sign stealing, the Connor Stallions thing on
oh right,
Netflix.
yeah.
Watch that.
I haven't watched any of that.
Where do
Um,
you stand? You're kind of a low-key Michigan man.
In my youth, I was. In my youth,
Michigan
I
adjacent.
was I was high key. I was a Fab Five fanatic, and then that bled over into I can remember rooting for like the 97 Michigan
Yeah,
football team with
Woodson.
Greasy and Charles Woodson and the boys. My Michigan fandom truthfully petered out kind of when I got to college, and certainly when Big Ben and Miami started playing Michigan, I was like, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know how that is. It's crazy, man, between the sign stealing and now this Sharon Moore fiasco, and it sounds like a true fiasco. It's a big hit for the Michigan men among us, and yeah, I'm just interested where they go from here. But have not watched that TC. I was gonna say I got into both the semifinals and then the finals on Tuesday night, the NBA Cup. I was deep in the NBA
Who
Cup.
was in this? Who was in the? Because it was what? It was Knicks, Spurs, and the
Yeah.
Knicks
So the
prevailed. But who was in the
yeah,
semis?
the Spurs Thunder game, which was
Yeah.
the one of the semis, and then it was Knicks versus Magic in the other semi. Both really good basketball games, but that Spurs Oklahoma City game was awesome. Like that
Yeah.
absolutely felt like a playoff game. And Wemby was just coming back. He was on a minutes restriction, but like in the first half, he played 7 minutes, and the Spurs were plus 20 in his minutes. He was just giving the Thunder fits, and I guess he and Chet like hate each other, which is fun. Like truly do not like each other, and
Where do you
yeah, it
stand
seems
on
like
that? I mean, I feel like
Spurs.
that puts you in the middle of the
Right,
Slenderman.
a couple of Slendermen, like guys, come on, let's all get along. But no, I mean, I'm not breaking any news here. It just feels like, man, this could be the rivalry here over the next 3-5 years or so.
Yeah.
It was a good basketball game, and then the final, the Knicks played really well. What I was gonna say though, Pooch was convincing us to give the Amazon Prime Vision a shot with the Thursday night football games, and it is super interesting. I
Yeah.
enjoyed watching that last week. But then I'm slow to the game, but I just realized Amazon's doing Prime Vision for basketball, and I am completely hooked on their Prime Vision broadcast for basketball. It kind of looks at the floor instead of like having the camera side, you're kind of looking from
Like
the
down the
side.
line
Yeah,
of the
like whatever
midcourt.
end of the floor they're on, you're kind of looking just under the scoreboard towards the basket. And so you can really see a lot of the cutting. You can see, as guys drives, it's like, oh, I see that lane that guy's trying to drive in, or, the defense. You can see, I think you can just see the movements a lot better. I found it extremely addicting to the point where I'm like, this is going to be the way the NBA is broadcast in a few years, just like everywhere, I have to think. But
Huh.
I'm not sure football is going to catch on quite the same way. But I was highly into the basketball Prime Vision.
Nice. What your Kings seem like they're just an absolute
Dreadful.
disaster.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dreadful. Hopefully selling everybody anything that's not bolted down at the deadline.
Yeah.
All their, Zach LaVine, DeRozan, Sabonis, they're all in trade rumors. Awful franchise. And that's the other thing too, like watching the Spurs, I'm watching Fox. I'm watching Harrison Barnes is on the Spurs.
Yeah.
They're playing the Knicks. My guy Mike Brown's on the Knicks sideline coaching. I'm like, God, it's almost like I'm watching the prime beam team again. It felt good.
Yeah. Are there concerns that the Thunder are going to be too good for too
Yeah.
long?
Yes. Yes. Highly concerning. Because the pick they have a litany of high draft picks too. So they have
And
the
they're in good
depending on
they're in a
pitching.
good cap space. Like they should be able to keep this current team together and then augment them too.
Yeah, like it's truly like I think Sam Presti has solved basketball at the moment. But that's why it was so fun watching the Spurs beat them. They stopped their like 18-game winning streak,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean the Spurs are set up really well too. That's why like those two organizations, man, they not
Yeah.
only do they have like young talent and they're good right now, but they have picks and they're just they're positioned
Well,
to
I mean, it
compete.
seems like the culture in both places is
Yeah,
like the locker room culture is best in the league too, which is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. And like two of the smaller I mean, I guess San Antonio's not really that small anymore, but like two of the non-traditional markets. It's
Yeah.
wild, the success. Yeah.
Uh, I'm hearing good things about the Hawks' new brain trust.
Yeah, everybody
Uh,
loves what the Hawks are doing. And
yeah,
Trae Young's been out and they've been playing really
yeah.
well without him.
Imagine that.
I think there's a lot of chatter like is now the time to move him? But
He's a disgrace.
yeah, I think they kind of leaned into like a lot of lanky, tall athletes. Like they're getting into people defensively. They're running the floor. The consensus is that the new brain trust has done a really good job, and they're kind of positioning to be one of the better teams in the East here the next few years.
Well, Randy, let's think Roback real quick. I'm currently wearing the Roback Pace Performance Crew. This is one of the more comfortable, softer pieces in my closet. I know you're a big fan of this one as well. The, the
I
Pace quarter
love
zip,
yeah.
yeah, same stuff, just no collar on it. Sporty, kind of dress it up or down. You got the Fulton hybrid jacket, the hybrid vest. You got the Roback Delta pants. They got that kind of nice stretchy waistband. You can travel in them and look decent. All sorts of stuff. I would say, I know we're kind of beyond gifting season here. If although I'll tell you about a gift that I ordered last night for Gustav. But I think just generally speaking, I think people need to focus on refreshing their wardrobes, giving away some stuff, getting rid of some stuff, and just getting some new stuff uh, in the hopper for 2026. And I would say go to roback.com, RHOBACK.com. Use code TRAP for 20% off your first order through the end of the week. That's RHOBACK.com. Q zips, jackets, pants, whatever you need, Randy, Roback has you covered.
It really is a great gift. Like if you have somebody in your life, you're like, I don't really know what to get them. Like get them a hoodie, get them a t-shirt, get them a vest. Like they will like it. I promise.
And I am seeing order by 12/20 with 2 day shipping for 12/24 delivery.
There
So,
you go.
you know, seeing that. So,
Yeah.
let's see here. What else we got? Randy, somebody sent us a note about fantasy bird watching.
Was it Solly?
No, but they said definitely send this along to Solly. But basically you can there's like this, I don't know if it's a platform or like you don't actually see these birds. You're basically managing your bird. It's like you've got this organization of bird watchers and you can use your budget to go to different places, you know, virtually and look
So
at
this
these
is all
birds.
fake?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Um yeah, let me see. Hold on. I sent it through. I can't find where I sent it.
Would love to get Solly going in this.
I know. I know. I can't find it now.
These
It's gonna
tabs,
drive me.
man. These tabs are out of control.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's see here. It's called fantasybirding.com. Fantasy birding is a game for armchair naturalists of all ages and interest levels. Like fantasy sports, it allows you to enter a variety of contests with other players, make moves over the course of a season, and earn points based on real world results. Here, those results are based on data from eBird, the world's largest citizen science biodiversity project, where some 400,000 birders have submitted over 30 million checklists. So you can choose a game. In the simplest games, such as the North American Big Year, the object is to record the most species within a designated time frame and geographic area. In other games, you may earn points based on each bird's rarity or likelihood of occurrence. Plan your trips. Instead of drafting and trading players, the main moves you will make will be choosing a location to visit each day. Weather forecasts and recent sightings will guide your planning. You will earn points for all birds observed and reported near your current location. Strike a balance between checking in at reliable hotspots and chasing rarities in remote corners of the globe. Then you'll monitor your results.
This kind of sounds like it's up your alley. If they could like weave in some flight schedules, where
Yeah,
you could work on the logistics a little bit too,
yeah.
that might
Try
be
to squeeze
speaking
the
your
most
language.
out of
Yeah.
various points and budgets. Um, I actually asked my mom for one of those uh, bird feeders with the camera on it for
Oh, yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll report back if I get that.
My mom's been crazy about birds, my whole life, and she's had feeders out back of the house I grew up in all the time, right? And to the point now where it's like you go home and she can tell you, "Oh, that's this bird, that's that bird, that's that bird, that's that bird." And I guess I'm saying that because I've never thought to ask her, or I wonder if that would be a good gift for her, one of those things. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
she the problem is, like, when you introduce more technology, everything just becomes infinitely more complicated for her, so I
Do
don't
they
know if
have,
that.
like, a Ring camera? Or
No, they don't
okay.
have
I
anything like that.
mean, your dad's into AI.
I
It's
know.
music. You could
He's
probably figure
he's
it out.
AI, he's flight simulating, we gotta figure out, yeah, how we can get my mom this stuff. Yeah, I guess what I'm saying, TC, if you do end up getting that birdhouse with the camera on it, would be very curious how
Okay.
you enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a few of them. I haven't decided. I think let me see here. I think there's, let's see, there's one called BirdFi, there's one called Bird Buddy. There's some that they're kinda they're built in, like, and then there's another one where it's like this Camo Jojo one that you just, basically, uh, flip it on there. Yeah, all sorts of stuff. And then you gotta worry about squirrels blowing
Of
up your
course.
spot and all that
Yeah,
stuff.
of
So,
course. I'm
you're
curious,
yeah.
uh, kinda what the most rare, or from, like, a bird watching standpoint, what are the crown jewels in and around the beaches of Jacksonville?
No idea.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
either, but
yeah.
I'd be curious what kind of birds you attract
I'm a
to the feeder.
huge, like, my mom's always liked birds, but it was always hummingbirds.
Yeah.
So, which I was expecting to see more birds in Guatemala. Definitely saw a lot of hummingbirds. We
Hmm.
were on the lookout for a quetzal. Randy or Solly had his eyes peeled for a quetzal, but it's like the national bird. It's on their currency. Didn't see one of those.
Did he pack
Um,
his little binoculars?
he did,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and he's got his journals and all that stuff,
Yeah.
trying to hide it from us, but
My mom
um,
seems to get the most excited about, woodpeckers and pileated woodpeckers specifically.
woodpeckers
Like,
are bad, right? Like, you don't
are
want
they?
to see woodpeckers around
Why not?
because they fuck up your trees.
Well, they peck at them, yeah.
They
Well,
they
they have a
they
lot of
damage
trees.
stuff.
I think it's just kinda like, those aren't like our trees. They kinda their house backs up to, like, some forest. So, I don't think my mom's too worried about just, like, those trees necessarily.
They do have a good backyard for bird watching.
Yeah.
So, Randy, we had some good reads here lately. One that I just it felt of the moment was this one in the New York Times about this guy that let me see what it is. Paul Weiland. He lives up in the Adirondacks. This was in the New York Times. The headline is "Why One Man is Fighting for a Right to Control Our Garage Door Openers." If companies can modify internet connected products and charge subscriptions after people have already purchased them, what does it mean to own anything anymore? And then on
Yeah.
top of that, if you buy something and then they shut down the server for it, or some PE firm buys something and wants to jack up the price, can you still use that? So this guy basically came up with this uh, homemade device almost to be able to circumvent the prior wiring in his garage door opener and make it so that the remote connects, kind of circumvents the home system that he has and just goes straight to the garage door opener closer thing. And it was it feels like that's becoming more and more a thing. And then actually just a couple days after this, New York Times came up with this story about these volunteer fire departments
Well, this is
that
tough. Yeah.
yeah that are basically this one private equity firm has bought up bought the main software solution, like enterprise software that they use to kind of manage all of their trucks and incident information and all of that stuff. Like it was costing like $800 a month, and so they shut that software down, and then they bought the other company that was the alternative software and raised that cost from $800 to five grand. Again, these are volunteer fire departments that
Yeah, the one the Norfolk Volunteer Fire Department, like their total annual budget's 132,000. Like, what are we doing? I I hate this, TC. I absolutely hate it. And I think going back to the garage door story, I don't think it's quite, but I know we talked about on here earlier too about how companies are trying to make it harder and harder for people to kind of fix their own hardware, right? To like find
Yeah.
parts to fix stuff that
or
break.
if you're not on the software
Yeah.
solution, like I know farmers go through this with John Deere or the various things of if you're not on the maintenance plan or the software plan, you can't update your shit.
Yeah. But it just, yeah, like as a society, we're truly just getting poked, prodded, and gouged every which way possible. And it's everywhere. It's everywhere and it's everything.
Yeah,
Stinks, DC. I hate
it's
it.
the way of the world. It's just this. It's like this clutter economy.
Yeah.
Like these little tolls you have to pay to do anything.
And now, we were talking the last time, I think, uh, some grocery stores, like we're not even going to have like fixed prices on goods, on like hard goods, right? Like it's going to be dynamic pricing on every. Oh my god, it's horrible.
Yeah, awful,
Awful. Awful.
awful. You sent one over that was. I actually had a couple other people send it too. It was that good. It's the story about the plutonium device that was lost in the Himalayas.
Oh yeah. This was in the New York Times about a week ago, maybe December 13th. It says,
True, like a batshit crazy story.
"How did the CIA lose a nuclear device?" is the title of it. And a plutonium-packed generator disappeared on one of the world's highest mountains in a hush-hush mission the U.S. still won't talk about. Yeah, it's I mean, it's a lot. If you have a New York Times subscription, definitely check it out. I don't know if we need to like go through all of it. I almost want people to seek
Yeah.
it out and
I mean, international
read it.
relations, Cold War stuff back in the 1960s,
Yeah, yeah,
alliance with India to counter China, uh, kind of pre-satellite stuff. Yeah, it's fascinating. Just go read
yeah,
it.
yeah. They were some American alpinists were gonna climb this mountain and install a secret sensor on top of a mountain that was gonna pick up Chinese radio signals from Chinese missile tests. Is kind of the nut of it. And
And you got downstream stuff with global warming, glaciers, the
yeah,
Ganges River, all sorts of stuff. It's
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Um, yeah. There was another one from the New Yorker. Listen, I think we're just glazing New York right here, right now, or coastal elite, media here. But this is the kind of piece that used to just be like what made the New Yorker special. I think it's called the Airport Lounge Wars. When you're waiting for a flight, what's the difference between out there and in here? It's by Zach Helfand. This was from almost a month ago. Maybe like the best essay I've read in like this year. It was incredible of just going so many layers deep into what's the allure of airport lounges and just the societal implications and all.
Did it change your mind
It's
on
very
anything,
witty.
or did it make you rethink anything?
Uh Not really. I mean, I think I've kind of been like I've been generally out on just going to the lounge for lounge's sake this year. It's
Mhm.
got to be the right, right thing. Like if I want to eat something good, I'll typically just go to one of the airport restaurants instead of to the lounge.
Yeah,
There's good lounges out there, but you got to go at the right time and all of that stuff. So I would rather just show up at the airport 45 minutes early, check my bag, go through security, and then walk straight on the flight. Like that's the dream. But
sure.
obviously, I got to connect a lot out of Jax. But no, it's just a fun look at like how outrageous and
Did we
just
talk
over
about
the top things have gotten.
well, I know we talked about Sean Duffy, the transportation secretary, wanting people to dress up, for
Yeah,
flights more. But then I think there was something about whether it was Sean Duffy or one of his underlings, talking about, like, we should put workout equipment in airports too. Like, if
I
people
don't
want
think
to
I've seen
bang out
that.
a quick, like, dip set or, get some pull-ups in. But I think the joke was, like, how do we marry people needing to dress up to fly with then, like, let me, get a quick 10-15 minute workout here before my flight. I just don't know if those 2 things mesh.
Yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? I got an email from American Express earlier this week that I had a new recurring charge on my card, and it was from Clear, a $230 charge from Clear, which has always been included
Mm.
in my,
They
you
didn't
know,
refund that back out?
no, I got charged for it, and yeah, so not great there. I'm like, man, like honestly, like I've stopped using Clear because it's most of the time it's not as quick. It's just
Pre-check.
regular TSA pre-check, and then
Yeah.
B, you get absolutely lit up with email surveys after the fact.
I thought I was gonna say you didn't like the people just staring at you as you cut the line in front of them because I hate that. That honestly, I've not used Clear for that reason. Like, I don't wanna be that person that's
Well,
just
you
like
guys got something else out in Denver too, right? You got some reservation thing or
yeah, I've never really dug too much into that. I don't quite know what that's all about. Um, I don't know if we should do it here though. All this airline, airport talk. I wanna congratulate our buddy Drew for reaching the 1 million mile mark with American Airlines. That's quite an accomplishment.
it is. Yeah, THG congratulated on him on that. It's cool. It's cool.
It's
It's
cool. Yeah.
Randy, I made 1K again on my flight home from Guatemala. Actually, Sally was with me, and I'd like to think that it wasn't a coincidence. They sent my luggage out first. It was the first bag off the carousel here in Jacksonville after
I love
my
that.
1K. It's just, they changed they didn't increase the thresholds for next year, which is fine, but they're introducing dynamic pricing for the plus points, which
Yeah.
in the ideal the optimist in me says that hopefully it makes it easier to get an upgrade, even if it's more expensive in certain cases. Uh, but I just feel like people are credit card spending their way into nobody has any skin in the game anymore
Ooh, I feel seen with that.
as far as
I'm
actually
more of a credit card. I'm
flying.
more of a credit card status guy
Yeah.
than an actual time in the air status guy.
I
My
didn't make
wife
it on segments this year. I made it, yeah, on kind of total spend with
That's
with about
impressive.
a third of
A
that
lot of
being
segments. Yeah.
being on no, I didn't make it on
Oh, you
segments.
did not. Sorry, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah,
you
for
said
the
you did.
first I think every other year I made it on segments. I think I was like
Yeah.
20 segments short, but the credit card spend I just moved all my credit card spend over.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and then there's this app called Flighty
Okay.
that I'm starting to get in with that, just kinda log in all your flights there and it'll basically help you be proactive and see where your equipment's coming from and when they file flight plan and all that stuff.
Okay.
But also tracking your stats too.
We love stats.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything I was gonna ask you, my birthday was in October, and we just happened to be flying on my birthday, and then my wife's birthday was in November, and we happened to be flying that weekend too. Uh, We went to Green Bay. Anyway, the point of the story is both times we were flying United and we got upgraded. And my wife insists that it has something to do with our birthday. And I'm like, I don't think it has anything to do with our birthday that we got upgraded. I think it has more to do with on my birthday, we flew Denver to Green Bay, and there just aren't that many. No, not even Green Bay, Appleton, Wisconsin. I'm like,
So there's a direct flight from Denver to Appleton?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like,
nobody's like, there's no
right,
elites taking that
right.
flight.
But then we were going to Cincinnati for a weekend, and it was her birthday, and we got another upgrade, Denver to Cincinnati on a United flight. And she's like, they know it's our birthday. They gave us an. I'm like, I really don't think that it
I
has
don't
anything
think
to
that's
do with
it.
that.
Yeah, yeah, that's not it.
But it worked out.
Let's see. What else we got on the air travel side of things? Massive news this morning, Randy. This just rocked me to my core. Glenn Howenstein, the the Delta, kind of um, Delta revenue management uh, network strategy god retired this morning.
You think this guy's kind of the secret sauce at Delta?
Oh, 1,000%. He's been the guy. I would say the most important figure at Delta over the last 40 years.
Hmm.
Way beyond Richard Anderson or Ed Bastian. I mean, this guy was, he changed the way that they do business.
So I'm thinking, it just struck me, we were talking about fantasy bird watching. There's got to be some way we could gamify air travel and like let you like operate a fleet or avoid, there's got to be some way to put people like you in control of like an airline operation on a game level, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
I
could
would
like
think so.
draft
Maybe there
pilots.
is.
You could try to sign like certain high talent pilots and stuff.
I think the fleet management stuff would be a fascinating.
Yeah.
Um,
I should ask
let me
my
see if
dad
there's
about that. He's into the flight simulators, but I'm not sure if he gets beyond into like airline operation.
there's a Reddit thread. Are there any good dedicated airline management games? Not transit games with airlines solely, but something solely dedicated to. It looks like there's one called Airline
It's kind of like,
Dash
what
Club.
those baseball nerds do
Yeah.
with the management games.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that dissimilar from like, franchise mode in Madden,
Right.
right?
No, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
I think
But
that could be fun. That could be up your alley.
yeah, yeah. I'll look into that, Randy. I'll report back.
Okay.
In other news, Chipper Jones absolutely went off on Delta
Tough.
a couple weeks ago. He got stuck
Maybe
in
this is why
Birmingham,
Glenn
I think.
retired.
Yeah,
Have we connected those dots?
yeah. Uh, I do want to shout out the United Airlines, the banana pudding. Not a big banana pudding guy, but the banana pudding that it rolled out from Magnolia Bakery. Our colleague Matt had a great experience with it, and then I've consumed it a couple times here over the last month or so, and it's fantastic.
These
Highly recommend that.
The Pie Man's a massive banana pudding guy too.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Keep
You have
that in
to.
mind.
Okay.
Uh,
And then yeah, Randy, Spirit Airlines continue. They're teetering on the brink.
mm,
I think that they got a last minute infusion of about $50 million more on their line of credit. Otherwise, there
okay.
were rumors that they were going to cease operations last weekend. Um, it seems like at this point, there's either Frontier's either got to scoop them up, or I don't think the government can let them fail. There's just not enough slack in the system.
Interesting.
So we'll see.
Okay. Well, I feel like we're definitely going to keep an eye on that in the new year.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, in other news, just monitoring wise, we had the coup. We had another coup. We had a coup or an attempted coup in Benin.
Okay.
Uh, which I sent this over to you. Sick aesthetic. These guys absolutely just everything that you look for and hope for out
Yeah.
of out of a African coup,
Yeah.
berets and just a cast of characters.
I think one of these years I'm gonna make it my goal to just get styled in a manner of African coup. God, that'd be so good.
There's reports of French and Nigerian involvement there after the attempted coup. You got Thai airstrikes in Cambodia a couple weeks ago. Iran's had a little bit of rain. They still need more. Could have a coup there if they don't
Mm, yeah.
get more. Had some art heist news. 8 Matisse works were stolen from a library in Sao Paulo. And then the Louvre continues to be a disgrace. The French
Why?
need to step it up. Well, after the
Oh, the
whole
robbery there?
the robbery, and then there was a leak. It
Yeah.
damaged a few hundred documents
Mm.
here recently, and then I guess one of the security cameras that they said wasn't facing the window, it actually was, and they got the whole thing on camera. It just like wasn't tied into anything.
Huh.
The heist. So
All right, come on, Louvre. We got to be better. Just
exactly.
tighten it up. Have you guys gotten a lot of nominations? People want to talk about things that are sick. Have a lot of things been rolling across your desk that way?
Yeah, I've had a few. Not a lot of good ones. Actually, Ben had a really good one. Ben nominated sailboats, which I think are sick. The
Yeah.
fact that the wind can be blowing one direction and propel you in the exact opposite direction, right?
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah.
A lot of people send over the pneumatic tube uh, bar shaker. Like they send this cocktail,
Okay.
kind of cocktail mixer shaker. Put it in a pneumatic tube, and then it goes up and around this bar, and it shakes it, and then it brings it back, and it shakes it. A lot of people sent that over, and a lot of people sent over this stuff that rules account. This guy just, he's coming up with like 5 things a day in the month of December that he says rule. And some of them are cool, some of them are a little bit um, more feeling based or situational. Um, so yeah, it's not quite as objective as I would like for this list. When I was talking to Neil's been sending over some pics to the family thread. He's got a couple of foxes in his backyard. They've got a
Okay.
den somewhere in his backyard. I think foxes are sick. I'm a big fox guy. They're very cunning. We've got a couple that live on the golf course by my house, and they're cool, man. They're enterprising, entrepreneurial. They're just cool creatures, and they're
All right.
beautiful.
All right. All right.
And every time I see them, they've got a rodent or a baby duckling or something in their mouths.
Sure. Listen, I don't know if you saw this one on our message board, The Refuge. Spaceman Spiff had a nomination for something that's sick, and I think it's worthy of consideration. Celestial navigation. He said
Like
the idea that
navigating on Earth while looking up at the stars.
yeah, and let me read. I hope he doesn't mind. I'm going to read what he posted on the Refuge in support of it. He said the idea that you can pinpoint your position on Earth or in space, for that matter, based on the location of stars and some math that was figured out hundreds of years ago is truly sick. Spaceman Spiff had the good fortune of learning celestial navigation from some exceptional quartermasters in the Navy, which allowed him to go out on well, he said it made him feel like an ancient mariner as I stood on the bridge wing each morning and evening, navigating a cruiser across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. To say it thrilled and delighted me would be an understatement. So, listen, we don't have to decide right now, but I do think it's a worthy candidate for further. If you guys want to give it an up-down vote.
I agree. But what happens if it's cloudy? Is my question.
Ooh, that's a great question.
So it's pretty
Spaceman
not
Spiff, if
sick
you were listening, let us know what happens when it's cloudy. What happens if it's cloudy a lot?
for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you to
Okay.
do? Or if you're in an area with a bunch of light pollution.
Yeah. All right. Well,
So
we'll see.
what else we got? Your guy Stoller has been active on X, the Everything app.
What's he been doing? Because your boy here has not been active on X, the Everything app. So
I know,
I've
I'm
probably
trying to
missed
be
it.
less active on all of the apps, mainly like these social apps. It's getting bleaker and bleaker,
It's tough,
more and
yeah.
more distracting.
Yeah.
It's bad. Even just Instagram, like you get on there and you just you go on to like see 2 things and you get served up 10 things that you weren't asking for, and then by the time you realize you got sucked in, it's
Right?
12 minutes of your life gone.
Yeah, it just
It
melts.
sucks.
It just
Yeah,
melts. Yeah.
yeah. But he's been going at it with this Gail Slater, who I think is the assistant attorney general.
Oh, is she the assistant? Okay.
Yeah, and just kind of a tit for tat. She called him a keyboard warrior, an occasional blogger, and then he said I'm more than occasional blogger. Just very petty back and forth with high ranking government official. So
That's great.
uh, yeah, between him and Zitron, I kind of had to tune out a little bit on some of the newsletter stuff.
It's
It's gotten a little long.
it's a lot. Yeah, it's a lot. I did just see I was gonna dive back into Zitron on his podcast. He's doing a 3-part kind of well, the title is NVIDIA isn't Enron. So what is it? And it's like
Nvidia,
this 3-part series, I think,
Nvidia,
just looking into NVIDIA.
Nvidia.
NVIDIA?
I think it's Nvidia.
Isn't there an N on the front?
N.
NVIDIA.
I think it's just Nvidia.
NVIDIA.
Like
Who could say?
Nvidia.
Truly. Anyway,
It's kind
I
of a
have not listened yet.
Pan situation.
I have not listened yet, but I have that queued up. Because anytime you want to tie something to Enron, you have my
Yeah.
attention.
Yes. Yeah. Some of the circular funding structures for
Yeah.
those are
Yeah.
interesting. Randy, I meant to ask you this earlier. Are you a Christmas card guy? Do you guys send out Christmas cards?
No, we don't. But I do think we've talked about it. We're gonna try to get in the game next year. The thought being we'll have a little baby, can have a cute picture with the baby and the dog, and I would like to get in the game.
Okay.
And by I would like to get in the game, this is kind of something I would like my wife to spearhead and lead for us.
I got
Because
you.
I like receiving them. I like getting Christmas cards. I like saying, "Oh, look at these, fun pictures." They're a cheap thrill when I
Yeah.
when I do get them.
I bought just on a whim last night. Alex and I went out to dinner and I bought Gustav I bought him an OJ Simpson Bills jersey. A huge OJ Simpson jersey. And I
A
really
white one
wanted
or a blue one?
a blue one.
Okay.
I mean, white, like he can't wear a white jersey. It's just gonna get destroyed. He's gonna spill stuff all over it.
Is Alex gonna let him wear that?
We'll see.
Your mom's gonna be so pissed at you.
You know,
Like
I'm
truly. No, no,
I'm
truly.
fascinated to see if Fanatics even sends it, or if it gets, if they kind of put the
It gets
kibosh on it.
flagged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
But I was thinking about it. I was like, man, I should just start buying him bad boy stuff from all manner buy him a Lawrence Taylor jersey, a Nate Newton jersey, Charles Haley,
Will you get him
Brett
a
Favre.
will you get him a Chris Henry Bengals jersey?
Oh, yeah, I would love that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Actually, Alex got Freddie a Joe Burrow jersey.
Okay. We
Wearing a
like
Joe
that.
Burrow jersey.
We
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. Which I still think the Bengals have some of the best color combos for uniforms.
Don't you love I love their white on white with the orange
Yes.
helmet is
So
my
good. So
yeah.
striking.
Yeah. I think that's my favorite out of all their combinations. Um yeah. Whenever they wear orange pants though, that's my least favorite article is their orange pants.
I agree. I agree. What else we got? There was a fruit and veg spill off the coast of the Isle of Wight. Basically a bunch of this is per the New York Times. Containers of bananas, avocados, and plantains fell off a cargo ship off of the Isle of Wight. A soggy fruit harvest ensued on the coast of England.
Huh.
There, people were 16 containers fell off a ship. Uh, yeah, eight containing bananas, two containing plantains, and one avocados. Five were empty, and just you know thousands of bananas washing up on the beach. Kind of gross.
Yeah, I don't know what else to add to that.
There's a crisis in Japan. Japanese birth rates 686,000 births for 125 million people
That's
in
wild.
2024. They're saying this is extinction level bad. Can't even fix it.
Have we gotten Pusha's official comment on this yet?
Maybe that's why we were offered White J status.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So
All right.
we'll keep an eye on that. And then on the flip side, there was a big piece in the Wall Street Journal about some Chinese billionaires, like this video game executive Zhu Bo, who's said to have more than 100 children via like surrogate mothers in the U.S. and having kids here through surrogate mothers and then bring them back to China. Crazy.
What is it with like people like that? I know Elon, a lot of surrogate children. I don't know. I don't understand that mindset, I guess, but there's a lot of stuff I don't understand.
Yeah, I think they just, I don't know. I think it's kind of an ego play, right? Or
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I
just
think
thinking about your DNA being superior.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Exactly. Let's thank our last sponsor.
All right.
That's FanDuel. The Trap Draw is brought to you by FanDuel, Randy. 'Tis the season to be boosting on FanDuel because this year, getting 7 straight days of holiday rewards, each one waiting in the app for you to unwrap. Every day brings a new way to play, so keep checking in to see what drops next. And all leads to the Christmas Day special, where you can get something extra special. What do we got on Christmas Day?
We have football now. The NFL.
We've got Christmas Day. We've got
Cowboys.
We got Cowboys, Commanders, Detroit, Minnesota, Denver, KC. I mean,
God, all
Christmas
those games sounded so much better like 3 weeks ago.
Oh, the Christmas night, like the Chiefs getting the shit kicked out of them.
That'll be a gift for all of us.
That's really fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
I might have to wager on that one a little bit.
That's true.
So,
kids, there's one more present under the tree. Yeah. Let's turn on the TV.
Exactly. So 7 days of gifts, one big finale. Head to FanDuel.com/no laying up to get in the holiday spirit. FanDuel, play your game. Must be 21 or older and present in select states, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Randy, one thing I wish we could bet on is high school football, namely Rush Probst coach teams.
Yeah,
because they won the Coosa Christian won the state championship under our guy, and I guess they reinstated their coach earlier this week for the future. So Coach Rush Probst is looking for somewhere to go. I think here moving forward. My hope was he was going to go back to Pell City. I think he got fired from a couple years ago.
Is that Southern Georgia?
Pell City is east of Birmingham.
Okay, that's
he called it a lawless place.
Okay,
kind of between Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, or sorry, between Birmingham and Talladega. But yeah, South Georgia. I feel like Thomas County Central's back in the game. They beat Gainesville.
Oh wow!
One of Coach Rush Probst's acolytes. That Gainesville coach, they got the shit kicked out of him by Thomas County Central. So
Because last
uh,
time we talked, they had paused the state playoffs because they were trying to work
yeah,
out.
they all got reinstated.
Okay,
The Georgia High School Association
after the
got totally
brawl.
backed down. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm kind
Uh,
of glad Gainesville got beat down then.
yeah. The Marist School got crushed by Benedictine
Mm,
in Savannah.
mm.
Hated that, but good season from them. Uh, you know, how did Marymount do? Do they even have a football team?
They do have a football team. That's a good question, TC. I mean, I know they didn't win the state championship. Uh, I will. Oh, it looks like they went right here on the Marymount Sports Athletic website. They went 8-5 this past year. So
Okay.
looks like their run ended. They won. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Okay. So they won 2 games in the state tournament and then lost in a regional semifinal to Indian Lake High School,
Okay.
wherever that is.
No
Now,
relation
I'll
to
tell you
Indian
something.
Hill.
What's that?
No relation to Indian Hill.
That's what when I first glanced, I was like, "Oh my god, we lost to Indian Hill in the state playoffs. That would have been bad." Now, Indian Lake. I'll tell you what I don't like about what Ohio has done. They have created a lot more divisions than when I was in school.
Yeah, I
So,
don't like the dilution.
yeah, exactly. I think football might honestly have like 9 divisions now.
Oh, yuck.
It's horrible. Basketball has 6 or 7. We used to have 4 all through when I was growing up. Like, yeah, it just cheapens. I think it cheapens
Yeah,
everything.
don't like that at all.
No.
Uh, I know Neil was all excited at Dunwoody High School. One of our not rivals. They were just kind of right down the street from us over in DeKalb County. They named their new football stadium after Ryan Seacrest. He
I
was a
saw
big
that.
Ryan Seacrest guy.
And it sounds like he was a kind of a scrappy, hard-hitting defensive player.
Yeah, kind of a
I,
cultural tone setter, both
yeah,
on and off the field.
never would have guessed that. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
I did see Marymount lost in the regular season to Indian Hill 36-0. That's tough.
Hmm. What's the Indian Hill mascot?
Well, the Braves, and it's funny that they've stuck with it. Marymount's the Warriors, and we used to have kind of an Indian mascot logo, and we've changed it now, and so now it's like more of like a Spartan type logo. But I am just seeing Indian Hill. They are the Braves, and it looks like their football stadium is called Tomahawk Stadium. So our friends up on the hill are still culturally appropriating. So that's fun.
I know you're a big Indian Hill guy.
Indian Hill is the rival. No, it felt great to beat Indian Hill in honestly anything.
Does Marymount have a decent basketball program these days, or
Uh,
did that vanish with you?
It's been many, many, many years. I think they have been pretty good lately. I think last year they won some games. I mean, they've never been like a state contender or anything. But I do see this year they are 2-4 thus far on the season. So maybe not they lost to Indian Hill too. Maybe not the best team this year, or they've gotten up to a tough start. I'm TC. It's sad. I'm kind of completely removed from Marymount High School basketball.
Are you in? Have they named you to the Marymount Athletics Hall of Fame
No,
as of
I'm
yet?
no, no.
We need
I'm
to
not.
start that crusade.
No, we don't need to do that. Um, gosh, damn. There's a kid on. I'm just now looking at the league basketball statistics. There's a kid from Deer Park averaging 34 a game.
What'd
Gee,
you average?
senior year, maybe 16, 17 a game.
How many assists? You were playing point
Uh,
guard, right?
yeah, point guard in
Point
name
forward.
only. Yeah, maybe 3 or 4. I don't know. I'll have to dig up. I think my parents have. Well, I'm not going home for Christmas, but I'm like they still have some of my VHS game tapes, and I think like the end of year statistics and all that stuff. I'll have to dig
I
that
would
up sometime.
pay to get my hands on those.
Yeah, yeah.
We need
Just
to
watching the
we need to
I should watch my
digitize those.
I should make my wife watch, some of my old high school basketball game film.
Can you
See what she
can
thinks.
you hear the, can you hear the Finneytown crowd chanting anorexic?
No, that was the Indian Hill crowd. That was
That
at
was the Indian
Indian
Hill
Hill.
crowd?
Yeah, that was the Indian Hill crowd.
'Cause you were
You
so
might be able to
skinny?
pick that up at points. So, yeah, I was like 6'6", 150 pounds in high school. I was such a string bean, dude. Such a string bean.
That's great. Um, you know what I got a kick out of? I think Neil sent this over. It was this athletic comment, and so actually, Solly showed it to me on the way back from Guatemala, talking about the Michigan stuff. It's from Eric F. Just talking on one of the athletic pieces about the Michigan fiasco. He said, "quote Something I regularly fail to grasp is how people in very busy slash highly complex jobs manage to even get there while also managing a double life. I have a very undemanding full-time job and a family, and I can barely manage to wash pots and pans. These dudes are out there running, recruiting, managing coaching staffs, game prep, press interviews, and somehow has the bandwidth for amassing a cache of OnlyFans follows on a burner IG account, have an affair with a staffer, pay out for an abortion, etc. Like half my week falls apart if I have to return a pair of pants that don't fit."
That's such a that's so good. I could not agree with that take more. Like, how? How do you have the time and the mental energy and the physical energy and the bandwidth? I will never, never understand it. It's insane.
Yeah. Like, dude, I can't remember the last time I returned something through the mail. Like I get cold sweats when I have to go to like the FedEx store to ship something to somebody.
Yeah.
Like much less,
Yeah.
put like fill something out online, then print out a label or something, then return it. Like it's why I don't buy things online that much,
Oh, I
you
know.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So what else? You got any smoke for me about this? I saw Ohio University fired their head football coach after his
Yeah,
first
nobody
season.
yeah, they're playing it pretty close to the vest. The rumor was maybe an inappropriate relationship with a student, but that let me just put an alleged on that. I think there was somebody had unearthed like a recent divorce that had been finalized. But I and then station out of Columbus got their hands on like his personnel file, and I guess he had been reprimanded for having alcohol in the office and drinking with assistants after games and whatnot. But I don't know, TC.
Huh.
We it's all over the Miami athletic message board. So as soon as I know more, I will for sure tell the people.
Miami Hawk talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, THG's been really having a field day with your participation in Miami Hawk talk.
Well, let me just say, so THG, his whole shtick for years has been he went to Miami with us, but he just makes fun of Miami athletics. He hates Miami athletics, and he's a Xavier basketball fan because, of course, he is. And I just cannot enjoy it enough right now at this moment that Travis Steele, Xavier's former coach, has our beloved Miami Redhawks off to an 11-0 start, the best start in school history, while THG's Xavier Musketeers are employing Richard Pitino, the son of the Crypt Keeper, who I think was going to get fired at Minnesota. Like, I don't think he's that good of a coach. I think his secret sauce used to be like he was a great recruiter back before NIL was, just became a game of money. I don't know what Richard Pitino does well at this point. They just lost by like 40 to Creighton last night at home. Xavier did, and I'm just gonna take every opportunity I can to remind THG of the current circumstances.
I love that.
Yeah.
I do have to ask, has Miami played anyone?
No.
I see Wright State on there. Wright State doesn't look like they're very good this year.
Wright State's okay. I think Wright State's always, good litmus test. They beat them on the road. Miami has not had a tough out of conference schedule, and I will say some of that is
Which
they're
is
coming up.
rare because normally they just farm them out. And
Yeah, They're
Make
coming off a
money for the
25
athletic
win
department.
season, and I think it was one of those things where nobody really wanted to schedule them. They just had a hard time picking up any good games because none of the big programs wanted to buy them because there was a chance that Miami could win. None of the
Yeah.
their peer schools wanted to come to Oxford because that's going to be a loss this year. So it's a tough schedule. I have heard that next year's schedule is going to be much, much better. And TC, there's even talk of Miami getting in one of these Vegas kind of
Wow.
November early season tournaments. So something to keep an eye on.
So they
But
don't play Dayton this year?
no Dayton, no Xavier, no UC, which is criminal,
Unbelievable.
right? Like that's
Yeah.
what college sports should be. Should be regional
Yeah.
games, regional rivalries. It's really a shame. And it doubly a shame too because Xavier's there for the getting this year. Uh,
Have
I
they
think
played
UC
UC
fans.
yet?
What's that?
Have they played UC yet?
No, they don't play UC. I think UC fans
No, Xavier. Xavier playing UC.
Oh, Xavier did play UC.
Crosstown.
Xavier beat UC.
Oh,
I know, at Xavier,
did
which now
Bob
has
Huggins
everybody.
die, or is he still alive?
No, he has not died yet. Bob Huggins is still alive, miraculously.
I don't know why I thought he died.
Well, I mean, you could have told me he died 10 years ago and I would have believed it. But no, I was just going to say all the UC fans want to fire their coach, Wes Miller, for losing to Xavier, among other things. I don't think it's going well for the Bearcats right now.
And then what? Miami's playing in a bowl game.
The Snoop Bowl again. Out
That's
in
one in Arizona.
Yeah, out in Tucson, the 27th. They play Fresno State.
How many years in a row is that? Because it was the
2.
Barstool Bowl before, right?
Yeah. Last year was the first year of the Snoop Dogg Bowl, and Miami played in it and beat Colorado State, and now they're going back. Yeah. Miami's best defensive player, TC, is going to enter the portal. No surprise there. Kid named Adam Trick. And that's been about the big news on departures. I don't think there's too many other guys Miami's either concerned or afraid to lose.
Okay.
We'll see. Yeah.
Any new news out of our guy Baylor weed inhaler?
No, all quiet on the Baylor weed inhaler front. But I will say DeQuan Finn I saw something again through the Miami boards. DeQuan Finn got invited to one of these like postseason showcase kind of all-star games for draft eligible kids. And there was a tweet that went up, I guess, that was like Miami, Ohio quarterback DeQuan Finn, like kind of advertising him as one of the participants. And I guess because of all the people commenting like how he quit and he's this and he's that, they had to delete and disable comments on the announcement, which was kind of funny.
Oh.
Yeah.
Any bowl games you're especially excited for?
No. It's really a shame, man. Like I can't.
You're an Indiana alum.
Yeah, that's fair. I will watch the Indiana games. I was just getting ready to say there are college football playoff games this weekend, and it's like I don't think I could care less.
Yeah, I think I might just throw my weight behind Texas Tech.
That's not bad.
Just lean into it and honor the commish.
Yeah. So they took a couple Red Hawks off of last year's team. So if you see a wide receiver, Reggie Virgil, he was a Miami kid. And then they also have a O-lineman. I forget his name on the team. Yeah.
Broncos Jags this weekend.
Oh, that's right. How you feeling?
Not good. I think the Broncos are gonna. Jags are playing nice right now, but I think this is kind of a wake-up call game.
It's a good litmus test to see it's like, okay, Jags, how good are we? Yeah, I'm just wondering though if the Broncos coming off that big game last week, if there's any letdown maybe after they beat the Packers. But Sean Payton, man, I do have to give it to him. He seems like a pretty good coach.
We need Bob to give it to him. Bob keeps, Bob calls him like an unfat Mike McCarthy or Mike McCarthy with a better PR firm. And no, I just think Peyton's got a little bit more gravity.
Yeah, he's just got a bit more of that doesn't he?
Yeah.
I still don't like trust Bo Nix though. Like I still
No,
think they have an Achilles heel. I don't like the Broncos to even make the Super Bowl.
I agree. Do you think anything happens with Burrow this offseason of just like, does he I heard he was whinging about or not whinging, that's the wrong word because it's all well founded. Uh, he's been critical of the Bengals as far as the scouting department.
Yeah. I I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I think that's the one area where if he wants to throw his weight behind a coaching change or if he can put his thumb on the scale to kind of like get Duke Tobin out the door.
Mhm.
Honestly, don't know if Joe Burrow even has that much power over Mike Brown to like force Duke Tobin out. I I don't know. It seems like though, like Joe's like, yo, guys, we can't keep doing business as usual. And I don't blame him a lick
Oh,
for feeling that way.
not one bit.
So
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting, TC. I wish I had a better. I wish I was more confident in an opinion. I don't know because this is all kind of uncharted territory. I feel like between Burrow and the organization. So I really hope it doesn't become contentious. I really hope they can realize like, yeah, we have monumentally screwed up the defense. We're going to fix it in free agency. Like we trust us, we're going to give it our best effort to like put a Super Bowl contender on the field next year. I hope that's where we are, but I don't have faith in it, I guess.
And Trey Hendrickson is a malcontent.
And Trey Hendrickson seems like he kind of quiet quit. Yeah, he's out the door. It's wild though because I will say this: pretty much their whole offense is signed next year. Like I don't think they really have to worry at all about that side of the football. I mean, you can draft here or there, maybe some replacements for down the line, offensive line, maybe another running back, whatever. But they're going to have a pretty good draft pick and they're going to have a ton of money in cap space. And it's like they have to go out and be aggressive and acquire a bunch of new guys on the defensive side of the football. And I think if they do it well, there's no reason the Bengals can't be among the AFC title contenders next year.
Yeah.
Like assuming Burrow's healthy, assuming everybody's kind of healthy, like I think this thing could flip pretty quickly. It's just the Bengals have to go out and do it. So we'll see. It's it's crazy. What do you think Tua's bench this week? Bengals play the Dolphins.
That's delicious.
I feel like Dolphins
Tua
fans might owe us
stinks.
an apology.
Yeah, Dolphins fans, just Tua defenders generally.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a tough scene. Looks like I mean, God, it looks like there could be 8 openings, maybe even 10 if there's a
Yeah.
surprise one in Buffalo or Pittsburgh or something like that.
It's gonna be a fun Black Monday for sure.
Yeah. I love Black Monday.
Do you think Marcus Freeman? It sounds like there's some Marcus Freeman to the NFL buzz really picking up.
Maybe the Giants, Los Gigantes?
Yeah. Would hate that for our Notre Dame friends. Would absolutely hate it.
I think Neil's guy, Aaron Glenn, needs to be given a pink slip.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I think Peter Carroll might need to.
We might just need
doesn't seem to be working out
for his own good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a tough
one. Did you see the Bears? Bears maybe going to Indiana? I mean, I know it's just a leverage play from
I'd be so,
Kevin Warren.
I'd be so pissed if I was a Bears fan. Like, what? Really? Northwest Indiana? We're going to build a Chicago Bears state? Like, that is
scary.
Oh, my God. That's horrible.
Well, I mean, maybe the Bengals move there too, right?
Yeah. I mean, the Colts could. We could have 3 teams sharing a Northwest Indiana stadium, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm still not buying all the Caleb stuff.
No, I'm not either. I don't think he's that good. I don't think I will give the Bears this. They found a bit of like a power run game. The defense has gotten better through the season. I still think the Lions might leapfrog them though for that last playoff spot. We'll see. I'm going down on the Lions sinking ship. Maybe I'm just blinded and they have too many injuries.
I agree.
They can't stop anybody.
I agree. I've been impressed with how Ben Johnson's brought Luther Burden along too. He's been fun to watch and
Yeah.
fun to watch him pop. But yeah, just the motion into running plays into blocks instead of using motion just to free a guy up and get him in open space is cool.
Mm,
But it seems like there might be a little thirst there with Ben Johnson though too.
for sure. I think he's very thirsty. Maybe not my cup of tea as a head coach, but
Yeah.
he he is winning some games.
Yeah. Well, yeah, this is, I think kind of tying a, a bow on 2025 for us. I'm gonna play my 100th round of golf tomorrow, Randy.
Good for you. What
The
an
first time I've
accomplishment.
done that in
Yeah.
20 years. But yeah, 100th round of golf tomorrow, and then we're gonna take next week off in the trap draw, and we'll be back week after Christmas with our our annual goals podcast, looking ahead to 2026.
Yeah, excited for that. That's always a highlight. Can't wait to hear what goals everybody comes with. I got a few that I think are gonna
Oh
surprise
yeah,
people. I'm excited. Yeah. Um,
new year, new Randy, top 100 Randy.
yeah, exactly, exactly. A lot of new things going in 2026 for me, so I'm thinking I should lean into it a bit.
Hell yeah, hell yeah. Well, good stuff, big. I would say safe travels, but safe just burrowing up at home there and
Thank you.
hanging out.
Yeah, you as well. I know you're a bit stressed and just over the holiday season, but man, when little Gus opens that OJ jersey on Christmas morning, I promise it's all going to be worth it.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna save it for we're going up to New Jersey for on the 26th. I might save it to give it to him in front of my mom. Because like it was my dad's favorite player growing
Yeah.
up too.
Well, please promise me if you do that,
I'll film it.
yeah, get somebody just with a camera trained on your mother while he unwraps that. I would love
Yeah.
to see Peg's reaction in real
Which
time.
hopefully she'll probably listen to this episode. I wasn't thinking about that. She'll probably listen to this episode. So, mom, it's coming. So,
All right. Well, Tron, always a pleasure, man. We will like you said, the goals pod will kind of be our big 2026 kickoff, and then yeah, we'll see everybody in the new year. Happy holidays, be safe, safe travels, and yeah, always love doing it with you, TC.
amen, Randy. And just a quick note with FanDuel must be 21 or older and present in select states for Kansas in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 or older and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY. Text HOPE-NY in New York. See everybody in a couple weeks.